Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Teguh Yuwono, Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Diponegoro, would like to welcome you, all new students, Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Diponegoro. As a Dean, I would like to welcome you to join in our international class faculty, which is intended not only to provide opportunities for everybody to study here, but also to improve your experience, not only in the local experience, but also in the international level, in the world-class level of faculty and university. Founded in 1969, Visip Undip is one of the leading faculties in Indonesia dedicated to academic excellence, research innovation, and community engagement in the fields of social and political sciences. We are part of Universitas Diponegoro, a top public university in Indonesia that is committed to becoming a world-class university. Currently, Visip Undip is home to over 6,000 students, supported by more than 150 dedicated academic staff across 5 departments, including 6 undergraduate programs, 4 master degree programs, and 2 doctoral degree programs. Our disciplines range from public administration, government science, communication science, business administration, and international relations. We are proud to implement an outcome-based education curriculum aligned with global standards, emphasizing critical thinking, problem-solving, ethics, and digital literacy. Our program also accredited nationally and internationally by BIBA, Foundation for International Business Administration Accreditation, Germany. Visip Undip has strong collaboration with national and international institutions, including Wyoming University, America, Arizona State University, the USA, Leiden University, Netherlands, University of Naples, Orientale, Italy, Nagoya University, Japan, Ryukyu University, Japan, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Chung-Ang University, South Korea, Husong University, South Korea, University of Malaya, Malaysia, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, Queensland University, Griffith University, Australia, and many more. We regularly host international workshops, seminar, visiting scholar, summer school, and also student exchange program as part of our commitment to global citizenship and academic diplomacies. Beyond teaching and research, we are deeply engaged in community development, policy advocacy, and capacity building programs with local government, civil society, and international agencies. We believe that the university must not only generate knowledge but also contribute solutions to the real challenges faced by society. Our vision is clear: to become a world-class faculty that is globally competitive, socially impactful, and rooted in local wisdom. As we step forward into the future, we continue to nurture the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and integrity among our students and faculty members. I would like to express our sincere appreciation for your presence and support. We warmly welcome opportunities for joint research, academic collaboration, and meaningful partnership for mutual benefit. On behalf of the faculty, I would like to again welcome to the faculty. We are going to together with you, learning and developing together in order to provide your best future. Thank you guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished speakers, respected moderators, honorable lecturers, committee members, and participants joining us from different universities and countries around the world. Welcome to day 4 of the IRUD Summer Course 2026. My name is Akbar.
And I'm Farah. We're delighted to accompany you throughout today's program. On behalf of the Department of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, University of Diponegoro, we warmly welcome everyone joining us this afternoon.
It's hard to believe we've already reached the 4th day of this summer course. Over the past few days, we've explored a wide range of perspectives on international relations, international law, and contemporary global challenges.
That's right. Beyond gaining knowledge from our distinguished speakers, we'll also have had the opportunity to exchange ideas with participants from diverse academic and cultural backgrounds. Those conversations are just as valuable as the lecture themselves.
Absolutely. Today's discussion will continue that journey by focusing on environmental issues within international politics, reminding us that conflict affect not only people and states, but also the ecosystem that sustain life.
We hope today's session encourage everyone to stay curious, actively participate in the discussions, and continue asking insightful questions that enrich our collective learning experience.
Before we begin, we'd like to share a few friendly reminders. If you've just joined today's meeting, kindly complete your attendance through the link provided by our committee in the Zoom chat.
We also encourage everyone to keep your cameras on whenever possible to create a more engaging learning environment. Please keep your microphones muted unless invited to speak by the moderator. If you experience any technical issues, don't hesitate to contact our committee through the Zoom chat.
Okay, before we begin, we'd like to inform you that due to unforeseen circumstances, Dr. Suwita Hanira Randawa is unfortunately unable to join us today. We sincerely appreciate your kind of understanding.
However, we're pleased to share that today's session will instead be delivered by Mr. Muhammad Faisal Alfian, SIPMA, from the Department of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Science, University of Diponegoro. We are confident that today's discussion will be just as insightful and engaging.
In this session, Mr. Faisal will deliver a presentation entitled Ecocide in Armed Conflict. We look forward to exploring the impact of armed conflict on the environment and the growing importance of environmental protection under international law.
To guide us through the discussion, it is now our pleasure to introduce today's moderator, Ms. Palupi Anggreni, SIPMA. For committee, can show the CV. Okay, as we can see, Ms. Palupi is a lecturer at the Department of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Science, University of Diponegoro. Her teaching and research focus on international crimes, sustainability, and environmental governance, with research and publications covering water diplomacy, climate resilience, and sustainable development, making her well suited to moderate today's discussion and on ecocide in armed conflict.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in warmly welcoming Ms. Palupi Anggreni, SIPMA. We will now turn the floor over to our moderator.
Hello, could you hear my voice? Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay, masuk ya. Thank you for everyone attending our session. This is the last day of our summer course, but I hope it's not the last enthusiasm for all of you, and today we're pleased to introduce two marvelous speakers. In this first session, we will meet Mr. Faisal Alfian, SIPMA, as one of the lecturer in our department, International Relations, Faculty of Political Science, University of Diponegoro. And in here, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Palpi Anggrahini, and today's will be moderated the discussion both on the first sessions and in second sessions. At first, I would like to introduce you to short curriculum vitae from Mr. Faisal Alfian, and I hope it will give you overview of his distinguished achievement towards this year and also how to correlate it with today's discussions. He's the curriculum vitae of Mr. Muhammad Faisal Alfian. He was the lecturer in the International Relations Department, and his competence is related to the security studies and also foreign policy analysis and his expertise include the security studies, global politics, international development, international business, and also international relation in introduction and terrorists. Several of his research related to the Indonesian position on the rivalry of technology between China and US, the sister city dilemma between Bandung and Seoul in 2023, corporate to imitate a critical analysis of Bau Seoul sister city, good governance in IR, burden sharing in international locality, government management in Banten Provincial in order to address the refugee policy, and last but not least, the diplomatic management in Indonesia parliamentary system in order to maintain the stability on regional security in Southeast Asia. Hello, Mr. Faisal. Good day for today.
Okay, nice to meet you, Mbak Palupi in screen.
Hello.
Meet you again in screen, but
Today, I hope you will deliver the material well. And before we enter the discussions, maybe uh, you said earlier to the committee and also to the events team and also the on the MC, you will talk about ecocide in these matters, ecocide in armed conflict, and we know that the several conflicts also happens in Gaza and also in Ukraine, so Ukraine conflict, I suppose. Why ecocide is matter? Before you enter the presentation, maybe.
because
Do
this is
you?
my part of my presentation,
Yeah.
I will be deliver in general. Maybe the ecocide is matters because it is severely used as view as the collateral damage. But in recent day, the ecocide concept has been developing more and more and gaining for the
Attention, maybe, yeah.
enforce to the international law.
Okay,
That's
so
because the ecocides is very important to understand about the concept and definition, especially in the recent conflict that are two conflict that agreed to understand how the ecocides. The first is the Russia and Ukraine war and the Gaza
second
conflict.
one.
But it's
Okay.
a very different type of ecocide that happened on this war conflict. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, so it's not only about the ecological genocide, right? But how we implement it into the several case studies. And in this session or in this context, you will spreading the idea through two case studies. At first, the Russo-Ukraine war, and the second one is Gaza conflict between Israel and Palestinian, and maybe Iran. I think it is quite interesting to the students, especially on our team in this year, because it's very related with international crimes and how we address it well through several framework, whether it is in international law, in crime against peace framework, or maybe in security studies. So I will talk no more. I will give you the time and place. The floor is yours, and don't forget to time set your time. I will tell you maybe approximately 1 hour, one hour and a half. But before that, I will make sure to give you a reminder maybe if the time will be passed. Thank you, Mr. Faisal. Time is yours. Do you want to share your PPT by yourself or by the committee? By the committee?
Okay, please.
Okay, thank
Share
you.
my
Wait a
PPT.
minute. Yeah, we will share it for you.
Okay, because I have to prepare in maybe between 3 hours, and my PPT will be very simple because it is very limited time to prepare my presentations.
It's okay.
Okay.
We will be discussed in a simple way that you
Yes.
are comfortable to discuss it with all of us. So maybe we can expand the idea of
Okay.
your PPT after your presentation. Don't worry to present it. Time is yours,
Okay.
Mr. Faisal.
Thank you, Mbak Palupi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Mbak Palupi, for introducing me. My name is Muhammad Faisal. You can call me Mas Faisal. And I Secretary of Department of International Relations recently. And my research previously have talked about the ecocide in armed conflict, And comparing the study between Ukraine and Gaza in armed conflict, this is my research in 2025. And my presentation will be entitled Ecocide in Armed Conflict, the Case Study of Russia-Ukraine War and the Gaza conflict. These my presentations examine how environmental destruction has increasingly become an integral part of contemporary warfare, and why this phenomenon should be understood through the concept of ecocide. The structure of my presentation will be the first is why environmental damage in wars matters, the evolution of ecocide terminology, and the history between the definition and the conceptual of ecocide, and understanding the definition ecocide, the case study of contemporary the armed conflict between the Gaza and Ukraine war, and the last one is conclusions. Thank you. Let's move on the next slide, please. Okay, I always starting my presentation with the question: can war destroy a country without directly targeting its people? Traditionally, when we think about the war, we immediately think about the causalities, military operation, and destroy the buildings, and people become victims, migrations, and others. And however, today conflict demonstrated something different. Rivers can be poisoned, agricultural land can be become unusable, water infrastructure can be collapsed, and many more. Forest disappears. In other words, the environment itself increasingly become part of military strategy. This is why the environmental destruction deserve greater attention in the relate of international topics, especially in the security studies and the international law. Let's move to the next slide. Next, okay. This is the definition of ecocide, the concept as a concept. The environmental impacts of war extend far beyond the humanitarian causalities. In the recent decades, environmental destruction have been shifting from the being a few as collateral damage towards being recognized as a strategic dimension of armed conflict. The debate became particularly important after the Vietnam Wars, and the ecocide is introduced by the Arthur Glaston that coined the term ecocide in response to widespread of the ecological destruction caused by the Agent of Orange during the Vietnam War. 2 years later, during the Stockholm conference, environmental destruction in war became a part of international environmental discussions. In 1972, the environmental destruction during the Vietnam Wars was widely condemned, then bring ecocide into the international environmental and legal discourses. And protocol to the Geneva Convention in 1977. It's the first international legal instrument addressing the environmental protection during the armed conflict, prohibit the methods of means of warfare expected to cause a widespread and long-term and serve the environmental damage. But from this Geneva Convention, it's very limited to explain how this ecocide can be happens, and what the intention between that, how to use the measurements to the ecocide. And after that, the Roman Statute of the ICC in 1998 was introduced. The environmental destructions appears only limited provision under the Article 8 on war crimes. It is a part of war crimes. Before we started to explain the definition, just it is a part of war crime. No standalone to crime of ecocide exists under the Rome Statute. So when recently there are much of the researchers and law enforcement to make the ecocide as part of the fifth of the fifth international crimes. Debate: should ecocide be recognized as a fifth international crime under the Rome Statute or not? So please move to the next slide. Okay, before discussing the two case studies and the concept of ecocide, let us first understand what ecocide actually means. The words of ecocide consists of two, from the environmental destructions perspective and international crime. The ecocide, the eco is derived from the Greek words means oikos, means our home or natural environment, and site come from the Latin words sedium or sedere. It means that to kill, to destroy, to cut down. Therefore, the ecocide literally means the destruction of our ecological homes. Today, ecocides generally refers to the widespread and long-term destruction of ecosystem, whether it's committed deliberately or recklessly. Okay, this concept has become increasingly important because the environmental destruction is no longer simply accidentally, but is often not connected to the military operations and military objective. It's important to note that ecocide is not exclusively associated with the war and armed conflict. The concept has gradually expanded to including the large scale of environmental crimes beyond of the battlefield, including the surf of pollutions, the legal resources exploitations, and widespread of ecosystem destructions. It's as a part of ecocide. And at the same time, the international legal scholars and policymakers have been working to recognize ecocide as standalone on international crime. But in my opinion, the ecocide concept is standing on the blur definition between the international crime or transnational crime, because the transnational crime is including the transnational environmental crime. So this concept has been standing between two. The debate is developed under that definitions. But on these occasions, I will be deliver my presentation with my recently studies that highlight the ecocide in armed conflict, especially when we talk about the Ukraine and Gaza conflict. Let's move to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Different scholar has explained the ecocide from slightly different perspective. The first is Richard Falk, especially in armed conflict. Richard Falk in 1973 has introduced the concept of environmental warfare, which meaning that define the intention of destruction of natural environment, undermines the condition necessary of human life, tactic or strategy in war period, deliberately designed to harm the environment. And also the polyhedrons expanded this argument, but not just from the intention of destruction of natural environment, but also the argument expanded by emphasizing the ecocide. It's not only destroy the ecosystem, but also undermines the people ability to live peacefully. In other words, this definition also highlighting the destroying the environment also means destroying the system that sustain of human life. This is very popular in the anthropocentric perspective. Okay. And also there are definitions from the Stop Ecocide Foundations. As international, the Ecocide Foundation is also known as a non-governmental organization that established to promote the recognition of ecocide as international crime. Its primary objective is to advocating the inclusion of ecocide as the fifth core of international crime under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. the panel has proposed a legal definition of ecocide, suggesting the addition of Article 8 to the Rome Statute. According to the proposed definition, ecocide is refers to unlawful act or reckless action carried out by knowing that it has high potentiality to cause widespread and long-term environmental damage. Taken together from the definition for study, this perspective suggests that environmental destruction should not be simply by viewed as an unfortunate consequence of war. It is also function as a deliberated military strategy. Okay, next please. Okay, there are two main perspectives for understanding ecocide. The literally generally approaches ecocide from the two dominant perspective. The first is anthropocentric, and the second is ecocentric. The first anthropocentric perspective here, environmental destruction matters because it affects the people. From the anthropocentric perspective, environmental protection is primarily justified because it support the human's well-being. So the anthropocentric perspective sees human being as the main subject of the concern in the ecocide. It focuses on how environmental destruction affects the people directly. For example, when agricultural land is destroyed, the main concern is food insecurity. When the water system are damaged, the concern is the access to the clean water for the people and public health. So from this perspective, environmental protection is the important because the environmental support the human survival for well-being in the period of war or armed conflict. It is produced for the food insecurity, the water scarcity, public health crisis, forced displacement, economic loss. And the second perspective is the ecocentrism. The ecocentrism is focused on the ecosystem, possess the intrinsic the value. The ecocentric perspective adopt a natural centered approach, recognizing that ecosystem possess the intrinsic value regardless of their direct benefit to the human. The ecocentric placing the ecosystem on the first place to analyzing what ecocide, what the reason, and the environmental become the victim of the war. So the ecocentric perspective is recognize the ecosystem, biodiversity, and all form of life possess intrinsic value, unlikely anthropocentrism perspective. The ecocentric nature is protected merely because it's humans benefit for humans, but it is have value on itself as the subject of matters on life. Okay, from this perspective, environmental destruction is considered the wrong because it's damage the integrity of ecosystem, threatening the biodiversity, disrupt the ecological balance, undermine the resiliences of nature, or even if there are no immediate human consequences, large scale destruction of forests, rivers, oceans, and wildlife remains ethically and legally the significance. It become ecocentric centric perspective. Therefore, forest, river, and also biodiversity and wildlife differs the protection regardless of their immediate benefit to humans. So biodiversity as placed as a subject when the anthropocentrist place the human as a subject to see the ecocide as the intended to kill humans or affecting the humans or the environment. Okay, let's move the next slide, please. Okay, from this presentation that there are two types of ecocide. From the military tactic and advanced technology. From my research, I've been see that the military tactics have directly to targeting to the environment. Also know the concept of weaponized environment. Sorry, yeah, I mistaken to write my presentation. Weaponize, not weapon, but environment. And the second is the advent of technology, using the mass destructive weapons such as chemical weapon that will be affect the agricultural land or forest or biodiversity on the conflict and period conflict, biological weapons, and also the nuclear weapons. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, maybe I will be elaborate more about the why the weaponize of environmental is become a part. There are much example for that situation. The destruction of Kakhova Dam